Hey everybody, this is Ryan, and welcome to another episode of Runner 2. This is a series where I play the game in the background, and then I talk about topics that you guys leave in the comments below. So a comment that showed up a couple times was, what do I do if I procrastinate too much? I don't get my homework done because I keep putting it off and this and that. And yeah, so I thought I'd talk about that a little bit, kind of what I think. Alright, so first of all, I did this like you wouldn't believe when I was in school. I completely blew off like high school, junior high, all that stuff. I never did anything till the last minute. I never studied until the last minute. Basically, what I did was I figured out the bare minimum I could do to get by, and that's what I did. I never tried very hard, put everything off, and then I graduated high school and I went to college, or university, as you Englanders call it. What do Australians call college? Do you call it college or university or something else? Anyway, so I took that same exact strategy that I had into college of I'm gonna put everything off, I'm not gonna try this and that, and guess what happened? I almost got kicked out my first semester. My grades were terrible, and that was a huge wake-up call. I mean, that was a complete kick in the nuts that I needed to completely redo my approach to school and learning and just how I was gonna do all of that. I had to completely redo it. Now, I will say I did have a little bit of extra motivation. Growing up, I had a lot of teachers basically tell me or my parents that I would never graduate college. I mean, seriously, can you imagine a fourth grade teacher telling, the parents that their 9-year-old son will not graduate college? I mean, seriously, who the hell are you to make that decision, to look at a little kid and say, nope, your kid's not gonna pull that off, he's not smart enough, just quit wasting your time on him. I mean, seriously, who the hell thinks like that? If you think like that, go fuck yourself. Seriously. That's what I think of that. So anyway, so I completely changed my approach. I started trying. I redid how I studied and homework, and so I graduated college. And how did I just suddenly like flip a switch to do all that? Well, I decided I wanted to. And I know that sounds kind of stupid, but like it all starts with you. You have to be the one to decide that you want to change, that you want to fix this problem. So here's an idea. I'm gonna throw it out there. I already know what you're gonna think of the idea, but I'm gonna lay it out there and you can think about it. Ask your parents for help. Okay, I already know. Every single one of you are like, that is the stupidest damn thing I have ever heard. But really guys, if you don't have the self-discipline to pull this off on your own, ask them for help. This really is important, and it just has to be as simple as, they can keep an eye on you when you're doing your homework. Don't do your homework in your room. Go down to the kitchen table. Do your homework there. Do it out in the open where other people can see you. Remove distractions. Yeah, you can have your cell phone and you can text people or do whatever, but don't be tucked away where you can easily just completely push aside your homework, and and then you start to get in a text conversation with somebody, and then you're like, oh, I'll just turn on the TV while I'm waiting to hear back. Then you're done. Your homework's gone. So just remove that stuff from the equation. If you're down at the kitchen table, you have a nice workspace, like you can actually do work on, like that is a huge start. I highly suggest you try it. And even if you don't ask your parents for help and you're gonna try to do this on your own, doing your homework at the kitchen table, studying at the kitchen table in a work environment is something that I really suggest that you try to do. But really, asking your parents to help you It really is a good step. I mean, you guys, you cannot be afraid to ask for help. I know some of you are like, no, I can do this on my own. I don't need anybody's help to do this. You know, I got this far, blah, blah, blah. You guys, sometimes you just gotta swallow your pride and be like, you know what, I need help. It is so much harder to do stuff on your own, and it is so much easier to have just a little bit of help. And if you go to your parents and you say, you know, can you kind of help me with this? Can you keep an eye to make sure that I'm getting this stuff done instead of just going and playing games or doing whatever? I mean, they will respond to you. They know how hard it is to ask for help, and they will respond to it and they will help you. So I know this probably isn't what a lot of you want to hear, but you have to be the one to decide that you want to fix this. There is absolutely no easy solution to this problem. If you think school is stupid and it's a complete waste of your time, you know, you're sitting there in math class and you're just like, oh my god, I am never going to use this stuff, except for algebra. You'll be surprised how much you do use algebra in your life. But a lot of the other stuff, yeah, it's crap. All right? You will not use a lot of it. That is completely true. But one of the entire points of going to school, and this might blow your minds a little bit, the reason you're going to school is you are learning how to learn. And I know that sounds kind of weird and doesn't make a lot of sense, but you are learning how to use critical thinking skills. You're learning how to problem solve. You are training your brain so years later, when you're actually on the job and you're learning things that you're going to be doing, that your brain can pick up on stuff and you can, you know, make it to how it works for you. When you're in a group with people, you're learning how to work with people. You know how you got that one guy in your group? Well, you might be the guy in the group, but there seems like there's always this one guy in the group that never gets his shit done. Well, you need to learn how to deal with that, you know? When you're in the workplace, when you get older, there's gonna be people that don't get their shit done. And you need to know how to work with them to get your stuff done. Yeah, I mean, that's all stuff that really does happen. This is kind of one of those things that it's not gonna make a lot of sense to you until you're probably done with school. And then you're gonna look back and you're like, you know what? That kind of made sense. Now I know why I had to learn all that stuff in school. Because, well, it helped me do this and this. It's kind of like the thing with, you know, once you get older, you realize your parents did kind of know what they were talking about sometimes. And that they went through a lot of the same exact shit that you're going through. And like, you think you're alone and no one else has ever felt this way. But you know what? Your parents probably did. That's hard to believe. But yeah, they probably had the same problems you're going through. And you will realize that one day. But what it simply comes down to is you have to want to fix the problem. You need to put all the bullshit aside and say, can I do this on my own? And don't lie to yourself. You know, it's one of those times in life where you need to just put all the bullshit aside and say, can I do this? You know if you can or if you can't. You know if you need help or if you can get it done on your own. And this is one of those times that you need to make a grown-up decision and maybe ask for help. And I know it's hard, and I know you want to do it on your own because you think you can, but this is just one of those things that, you know, maybe you need someone else's help. So that's going to do it for this episode. If you have anything you might want to hear me talk about, just leave it in a comment below the video. And thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, see you guys.